This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to talk to you today about dumper's remorse. And so the question is, what is dumper's remorse? Take a quick second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more information that's helpful to your situation. And that doesn't just include breakups, that includes attraction, mindfulness, relationship dynamics, and marriage. So dumper's remorse is similar to buyer's remorse. Have you ever bought something and then the next day or 2 or 3 days later, you regret it because you have this thing with you and it's becoming reality and the shininess is gone? As they used to say, the new has been worn off. And so you have to sit with your decision, which means you are out that money. Or maybe you've committed to paying monthly payments for years and years, and you don't like that idea too much. In some ways, you kind of feel like now it's a burden, like it's a tax. And so you're not happy with your decision anymore. And so you have remorse or regret that you made that decision. The key is that you got the item home that you bought and you had to live with it. It was off the shelf now. It was no longer that shiny car on the lot or that video game on the rack or whatever it is. Now it's something in your home that you have. It's your possession. You own it. And that's when you learn if you can really do without it or not. You learn if the idea of having it was actually more appealing than actually having it. And the same is true when someone breaks up with you. They can't know for sure they want the breakup until they experience the true consequences, because a breakup is by definition that you two are no longer in the relationship that you had. And some people try to be friends, some people try to keep some sort of contact, but that's usually a very difficult thing. And so what really has to happen is that for the person to know if they really want the breakup, they have to experience it. And that's where it's amazing how so many people that I speak to, when they give their ex the breakup, just surrender, give it to them. Don't try to fight to get them back. Don't beg, don't plead, don't send flowers, don't send cards. When the breakup is given, the dumper often experiences remorse because they have to live with it now. Like the item that I mentioned before, it's no longer this object up on the shelf that they sit there and imagine having. So they imagined being free, being able to date whoever they wanted, which, if you remember the Eagles song, the singer says, freedom is just some people talking. Your prison is walking this world all alone. And most people realize that. Now, if the relationship was just awful and there was lots of yelling and fighting and bickering and strife, then loneliness, or at least just being away from this person, might be just as appealing as finding another relationship or moving on or having freedom to date whoever in their mind. And so that's where it's important that the relationship was good. If it wasn't good, I hate to tell you, but your odds do go down. But most of the time, if it's a long-term relationship, there was something valuable and something good to them, or they wouldn't be in the relationship with you in the first place. So the way to make your ex regret it, to feel that dumper's remorse, is to give them the breakup. That means they have to lose the ability to expect you to reach out. They have to know that at one point you wanted the relationship, and maybe right as they were breaking up with you, you gave some pushback and you said, I don't agree, I think we're great together, I love you, that kind of thing. That's okay. That's a good thing because they know at one point you wanted it. And that's where it sets it up, where they are not hearing from you. And so now they're wondering if you still want it. They know you did, but now your behavior is suggesting that maybe you don't. And that's where, as I've mentioned in my other videos, mystery is so much more powerful than having the answer. Have you ever tried to think of a word and you maybe even have some friends in on it and you're saying, no, it's that word, it's right on the tip of my tongue, what is it? And it just drives you crazy. And you'll sit there for hours sometimes, but even while you're doing these other things, you are trying to remember that word, that one silly word, or the name of that restaurant, or the name of that band, and it's driving you crazy. But then, when either you search it and find it online, or it comes to you, you get relief. And it's calming. and your mind is not preoccupied anymore. And you can move on to other things. And that's where, when we get a little bit of dumper's remorse, and you combine that with mystery, where they're not hearing from you, you're not posting sad memes on social media, you're not going to their friends and telling them how miserable you are, they are not hearing from you. So they don't know for sure if you still want them or if you've gotten over it and just moved on. That mystery combined with remorse, where they're having to experience life without you and it's not quite as good as they thought, they miss you, they miss the company. And sometimes it starts just that simply, where they just miss the company. But you know what? Because you are a unique person, you are your own person, there are other factors involved. And that can be the starting point to where they miss you deeply. They miss special things about you. They have memories about the two of you, and those come flooding in, and they realize they have given up something wonderful. And so the idea of the breakup in concept seemed great to them. It seemed like that's what they wanted. But now they have learned, because you have been in no contact, and I will link to my videos on no contact in the description below, or you can search my channel for those. But because you have been in no contact and you have given them the breakup because that's what they said they wanted, and sometimes you have to let them experience it to see that they don't. And if that's what you did, then it's no longer a concept. They have had to own it. And now, only now, can they really know if they want it or not. And so many times they realize they didn't want it. Now, if you stay in contact and you pester and you try to keep the channels of contact open and things like that that people will say, you actually make it to where they don't ever get to feel that remorse, because they don't truly feel all the consequences. They don't have to feel your absence. They don't get to miss you. They don't get to wonder about you, which is so, so important, that they wonder about you, that there's some mystery there. Give them something to think about. If you leave them alone, even though it's difficult, and you will experience sorrow, you will experience anxiety, just know that that is what we want them to feel as well, because you feel the loss. We need them to feel the loss. And the only way that can happen is if you leave them alone, give them the breakup, and let them feel the remorse. So if you're in no contact, stay strong. I have another video called Trust No Contact. I have another video called Encouragement During No Contact. It's very helpful to you if you want to look that up and watch it. I also have my emergency breakup kit, and I have a link to that in the description below. It gives you lots of great strategies to get your ex back, things to do during no contact, some more information on no contact. And it talks about what to do if your ex reaches out to you, because that's actually the number one problem. The number one question I even get in the comments on YouTube. What do I do when my ex reaches out to me while I'm in no contact? What do I say? Should I take the call? Should I answer the text? Should I suggest we get together? Should I wait for them? And then how should I act? How should I behave? Should I be cold? Should I tell them I want them back? All kinds of questions. And I get to that in my emergency breakup kit in great detail. And you can get more information on my emergency breakup kit in the link in the description below. And you can visit my website, myexbackcoach.com. That's myexbackcoach.com for tons of free articles and information on getting your ex back and surviving a breakup. This has been Coach Lee. Please click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more content that's helpful to your situation. As always, thank you for watching.